to just go ahead and let this I'm gonna let people, join in on this live. I'm gonna just wait till a good amount of people join this live, man. Because man, we're gonna talk some Black Panther today, man. That's what we're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk a little Black Panther today, man. I'm just gonna give my opinion, my critiques on the movie. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let it be known, man. This is what this video about, man. We're gonna talk Black Panther a little bit, man, because I hate to say it, man, but our people in America, man, you it's just a lot of emotional people. I ain't even gonna say black people. I'm gonna just say the social media people, man, the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous what I'm seeing on the internet over the last couple of days about this Black Panther movie thing, man. It's like people can't have opinions. You know what I'm saying? You can't critique something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how a lot of y'all people were raised, but for people like me and other people who grew up in the black liberation struggle, man, we got a different way on doing things, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at the end of the day, we got a right to our opinions, and we got our right to, you know what I'm saying, critique and give our critical analysis on anything that a European puts out pertaining to African people, man. And I'm speaking specifically on people like myself who actually grew up around the black liberation struggle, who grew up in the movement. You see what I'm saying? And all people, who became a part of the movement. It don't matter if you don't know original Black Panthers. It don't matter if you don't know the original Black Liberation Army. It don't matter if you don't know none of the original freedom fighters. But you have elders in your community that come from that era. That's all that matters. That you came up under. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm speaking for people who are attached to that struggle, who come from that struggle, and who are children of the black liberation movement and the black liberation struggle. I'm speaking from these people on this subject far as the Black Panther movie. Excuse me. It's just a circus right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the bashing that's going on, man. What's up to all the people that's tuned in? I see your comments. You know what I'm saying? What up? I'm gonna get to y'all in a minute, but let me go ahead and knock this thing out real quick. Let me just state this point right here. If you're a person that grew up in the black liberation struggle, and you have elders that's locked up, that's been assassinated, and they come from the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army, the Republic of New Africa, and we can take it even further back to the Marcus Garvey movement, man, of the UNIA ACL. I'm talking about all freedom fighters, man, of the black liberation struggle that so many of our people worship. They talk about. They put their names on the T-shirts. They idolize. Of that sort. You see what I'm saying? Let me just break this little detail down. It's a thing that we do in this movement. And it's called critical analyze. You know what I'm saying? This come from your scholars, your teachers from academia, from the Africana and the African academia. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people come from the black liberation struggle. You see what I'm saying? And I'm speaking specifically on those elders, historians, scholars, and even the freedom fighters themselves. It's a thing that they've been doing for decades and years. And this is called critical analysis. A lot of y'all people need to understand that. So when you see these elders and these historians and these people who deal with African studies and who deal with the history of our struggle, of African history, black liberation, revolution, when you see these type of people writing these articles, these essays, after things like movies, and it's not even necessarily movies, like even essays or critiques of things that come from the white supremacists and the white supremacist people and the white supremacist educational systems in Hollywood and these things of that nature. These scholars have been doing these critical analysis for decades, man. So this is a natural thing that's part of our culture. Anything that's put out about black people, African people, that's based on our history, our struggle, these scholars, teachers of those things of those nature have the right to critical analyze something, especially something that has been based on these people who have sacrificed their lives, based on these people that's doing over 40, 50 years in these fucking hell slave camps across the United States of America, who gave and you know what we call in the Black Liberation Movement, they gave the ultimate sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? These elders, these freedom fighters have been assassinated, murdered, locked up, and you know, exiled. Because I ain't even gonna forget the ones that's in exile. See, a lot of people don't know we have we have several freedom fighters from the Black Liberation Movement that's living in exile. You know Asada, you know Nahanda, Pete O'Neill, who's original Black Panther from the Kansas City Black Panther chapter of the Black Panther Party, who lives in Africa today, in Tanzania. And even our great ancestor that's transitioned to the ancestral realm, Geronimo Jajaga, he went to go live in Africa. He wasn't necessarily exiled, but he went to go live in Africa. Herman Ferguson, who's no longer with us, who transitioned a couple of years ago from the Republic of New Africa. At one point in time, he was exiled from the United States of America. And he's a well-known freedom fighter and a well-known comrade of the Honorable Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? So I'm speaking on behalf of those people. Like, let me just go back. Let me take a step back, because you know I'm gonna just give my opinion on this Black Panther movie. On this movie, let me take a step back. Let me go back to the origin, because a lot of people had the origin of this whole Black Panther comic and things of that nature totally confused. Okay, the Black Panther comic series, because I grew up on comic books. I love comics. You see what I'm saying? I love comic characters. I love the whole comic thing. That thing was, at one point, a segregated thing. You didn't have black comic heroes. You didn't have black comic books at one point in time, which was racist. You see what I'm saying? There were nothing but white comic books and white comic heroes at one time. So, let me take it here. A lot of people had this confused. The black comic book about the Black Panther doesn't predate the Black Panther Party. I just want to throw that out there, because this is what, you know, where I'm going as far as what my opinion is going to be on this movie. The Black Panther comic hero doesn't predate the Black Panther Party or the Black Panther logo. See, a lot of y'all have that confused. Because one, the Black Panther comic hero came out in 1966. Okay, the Oakland chapter of the Black Panther Party was originated in 1966. So this is where the confusion comes in at, where some people are saying that the Black Panther Party derives from the Black Panther comic hero. That's false. Now let me give you the chronology of the Black Panther Party and the Black Panther logo. The Black Panther logo and the Black Panther Party started from these two Pacific movements that are never talked about. And nobody really teaches except for people like us who come from elders of the Black liberation struggle and Black liberation movement, and a lot of elders who teach in the studies of Africana studies and revolutionary studies. Let me name the two original Black Panther parties. One, the first Black Panther Party ever started comes from Alabama. That party was started in 1965. The Lowndes County, Alabama Black Panther Party. This is the Black Panther Party that was started by Stokely Carmichael. We know today as Kwame Toure. This party was started by Stokely Carmichael and other Africans that lived in Alabama that were a part of this Democratic Freedom Party with cats like Mukasa Ricks. If you don't know who Mukasa Ricks is, go do your research on Mukasa Ricks. Mukasa Ricks is one of the pioneers of the term Black Power. This is one of our esteemed elders. You might not even know of him like that because he's not really spoken upon like that. This is one of the cats, along with Stokely Carmichael, who marched on the side of Martin Luther King. You see what I'm saying? These cats were comrades of Martin Luther King at first. Stokely Carmichael, I get his name twisted, Stokely Carmichael, Mukasa Ricks, I can't think of his name, but his last name starts with Foreman. He's from Detroit, and several other radical, because these cats have always been radical. Martin Luther King might not have seemed like a radical cat, but Martin Luther King was a radical cat because he hung with Stokely Carmichael. He organized with Stokely Carmichael and Mukasa Ricks. So, them, along with some other local political activists in Alabama, came together collectively with Stokely Carmichael and Mukasa Ricks and formed the Lowndes County Black Panther Party. And during this period of time, they presented to the world what you see today is the Black Panther logo. They chose the Black Panther logo to combat what was going on in Alabama, which was a racist white political party at that time, which was who? The Democratic Party. The same Democratic Party that you see today that black folks back 100% when they go out to vote. See, a lot of people don't realize back in the day, the Democratic Party was a racist party. It started out with the Ku Klux Klan. The Democratic Party was a Ku Klux Klan originated party. So this party was heavy in Alabama. You see what I'm saying? And they had a racist logo that had the rooster on it, which stood for white supremacy, white nationalism. You see what I'm saying? So those Africans, new Africans in Alabama, came together as a collective and organized and created what you know today as the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party did not start on the West Coast. It didn't start on the East Coast. It started in the South. So people can understand this. And it started in 1965. This is a year predated of the Black Panther comic. You see what I'm saying? The Black Panther comic didn't come around till late 1966, which was July 1966. You see what I'm saying? So, Stokely Carmichael, you might know of him, Fannie Lou Hamer. The most important person is Mukasa Ricks, because Mukasa Ricks is the person who originated the term Black Power. Stokely Carmichael did not originate the term Black Power. He co-signed it along with his comrade, Mukasa Ricks. So that's the first chronology of the Black Panther logo and the first Black Panther Party, which was the Lowndes County Black Panther Party that was started in Alabama. The Black Panther Party started in the South. You see what I'm saying? To combat the racist Democratic Party. political party. So during this time period, Stokely Carmichael understood that they needed a logo. So the logo that Stokely Carmichael and Mukasa Ricks and them came up with and they identified with was the Black Panther. Why? Because the Black Panther, which you know is real ABC-ish, is that it's black. It's a black cat. But they understood the characteristics of the Black Panther, which is the Black Panther was a cat that didn't necessarily attack. It necessarily was a defensive cat, meaning that they don't go around attacking people. So they took on the characteristics of the Black Panther, which was self-defense, meaning when that Black Panther cat is trapped in a corner, you can use your offensive tactics on that cat, and that cat will fall back into the corner. It puts itself into a place where it cannot be attacked from all angles. You have to come at it straight ahead. You see what I'm saying? That's the natural characteristics of a Black Panther cat. When it's backed up against the wall, then it comes out and attack, which is where the whole self-defense strategy and scheme comes from. So Stokely Carmichael understood that. So they took on the Black Panther logo, and he had the natives of Alabama draw up a Black Panther cat like it's attacking. So this is the first Black Panther Party and the first logo of the Black Panther in Alabama. Second Black Panther Party. Well, it's three. I forgot to leave out one. Here's the second one. The Revolutionary Action Movement, started by Max Stanford. And this movement was Max Stanford. I do believe he comes out of Detroit. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. But I know he comes from somewhere in the Midwest. Max Stanford. Today he's known as Ahmad Muhammad. He changed his name. But the Revolutionary Action Movement is where you've seen cats like the Diggins of Defense come from. So and people like Robert F. Williams. You see what I'm saying? Even though Robert F. Williams kinda, but not really, because he was a part of it also. He doesn't really predate the Revolutionary Action Movement, which is known as, RAM. All you gotta do is look up RAM. They're called RAM, the Revolutionary Action Movement. They was around in like the 1960s, the early 1960s, like 1962, 1963. Started by Max Stanford. But the Revolutionary Action Movement didn't become the Black Panther Party till after Stokely Carmichael and the Black Panther Party was started in Alabama. So the second Black Panther Party that came in existence was the Revolutionary Action Movement. They also had a logo of the Black Panther cat. You see what I'm saying? Again, this is before the Black Panther comic series. The Revolutionary Action Movement and the Black Panther logo was around before the Black Panther comic. The third Black Panther Party that was formed before the Black Panther comic series is the Watts Secession Movement. This movement was started in 1965 in Watts, California. See, a lot of people keep thinking the Oakland Black Panther Party is the first Black Panther Party. It's not even the first Black Panther Party in California. The Watts Secessionist Movement is the third Black Panther Party and the first Black Panther Party to be started in California. And I don't have to really the specifics of the people who organized it. Just know that this Watts Black Panther Party, called the Freedom City Secessionist Movement, came out of the first Watts riot in 1965 in Watts, California. If you know anything about the Watts riots, the Freedom City Movement is called, aka the Watts Secessionist Movement, was a movement that was started to liberate the city of Watts in LA. They wanted to succeed from California and secede from the United States government. This is one of your first movements that tried to get their own black government and own black nation and own black city to succeed from the United States of America. They also took on the Black Panther logo. And this is before the Black Panther comic. Look that up. Write down everything that I'm telling you right now. The Watts secessionist movement is the third Black Panther Party with the Black Panther logo before the Black comic. Now, moving up to the real Black, not the real Black Panther, but the Black Panther Party for self-defense. Keywords: Black Panther Party for self-defense, started by Bobby Seale, Huey P. Newton. They took on the Black Panther Party name and the Black Panther logo in 1966. They're the fourth Black Panther Party to be started. But they're the first Black Panther Party called the Black Panther Party for self-defense. They chose to put the self-defense onto the name to establish the difference between them and the original Black Panther Party of Alabama. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference. But they all incorporated the Black Panther logo before the Black Marvel comic series. The Black Marvel comic series derives from the original revolutionary movements of the Black Panther parties. All four of them. You see what I'm saying? I only wanted to make that point because a lot of people don't know the origin of the Black Panther logo and the Black Panther period. You see what I'm saying? Four Black Panther parties are the origin of what you have today in the movie you see today, Black Panther. The character. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily the movie, the character. Black Panther. Which takes me on into the movie. I'm going to just give my few opinions on the movie. Was it a good movie? From a Marvel, entertaining, fantasy, just in the standards of a good movie, far as the Marvel series, it's a great movie. I'm not going to take away from that because I enjoy Marvel comic movies. But the whole key to this whole thing is that our people need to understand is that these type of movies have underlying messages in them. You see what I'm saying? Every movie that Hollywood puts out, it has an underlying message to it. That's how white supremacy operates. They put subliminal underlying messages in movies. You see what I'm saying? This is why Hollywood is so racist. It's white supremacist. It's a white supremacist tool. Hollywood films. And we all know Hollywood has been racist for decades. Because we could take this back to the days of Hollywood back in the days when our ancestors couldn't even become an actor. They couldn't get a job in Hollywood. They didn't allow blacks to be actors. You see what I'm saying? So that's one positive to this movie. You know what I'm saying? Because it also shows the struggle of how we overcame racism to a certain degree in Hollywood. Yeah, it's good to see an all-black film with all black actors. That's excellence. Nobody's debating that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's taking away from that. A lot of you people taking this out of character, out of proportion. When you see people from the Black Liberation Movement or who with black organizations who are critiquing and giving their opinions on the movie. It's not movie bashing. We're not bashing the movie. We're giving critiques and critical analysis of the storyline, of the overall message, the underlying message of the movie that so many Africans who go on to the movies are not going to understand or not paying attention to. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them are just taking their kids to the movie to see a great movie with an all-black cast and an all-black superhero. I'm not taking away from that. We're not taking away from that. Go enjoy the movie with your kids. Excellent. It's good to see black people in their original indigenous state of being, which is their culture, their spirituality, the way they dress, the way they live, the way they govern. Even though I have a problem with the way they even govern. I'll get to that in a second. But It is excellence. It's black excellence to see that. Yes, take your kids to see that. You see what I'm saying? These opportunities are rare in a white nation, a white country, from a white Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? But you must understand the fact that Hollywood has underlying messages to their movies, man. You see what I'm saying? Why you taking your kids to that movie? You have to teach your kids to see the message also. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the Black Panther comic movie is predicated and derives from a real revolutionary movement, political movement. The 4 Black Panther parties that I named that predate the black comic hero. You see what I'm saying? No matter how you chop it down, no matter how you want to tangle and twist this shit, the Black Panther movie derives from the Black Panther Party. Get that in your mind. Get that in your head. That's facts. You can't debunk that. And any person that's walking around telling you that the Black Marvel comic predates the Black Panther Party is telling you a lie. That's a pure lie. You see what I'm saying? If any of you study the Black Liberation Movement or the Black Liberation Struggle, you know that the black comic hero doesn't predate the Black Panther Party. I just gave you the Black Panther parties that predate the goddamn comic hero. You see what I'm saying? The white man got the Black Panther character from the Black Panther Party movements. Facts, man. Period. So that gives people like me and other people who are children of the movement the right to critique and critical analysis the movie. You see what I'm saying? People don't get that shit, man. This ain't no hate. We ain't hating on the goddamn movie. No, we're going to correct and tell the truth about the storyline. Period. Whether you don't like it or not. I don't care if you like it or not. But we have ancestors, elders, who have taught people like me and several thousands of African motherfuckers who come from the black liberation struggle about the black liberation struggle. So we had a right to critique that shit. We were raised in this shit. You see what I'm saying? So anything dealing with the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, the Republic of New Africa, the Revolutionary Action Movement that's being put out in Hollywood, we're going to critical analysis that shit. Because we know Hollywood doesn't mean black people no good. The overall message and underlying message of any Hollywood movie predicated on black people, African people, will have an underlying message in it for black folks. And I'm talking about the black folks who don't know no better. You see what I'm saying? A lot of black folks go into the movie because it's African. Black power to that. You damn right. It's African. Go see the shit. I'm not stopping you. We ain't stopping you. And this the crazy shit. Because I keep getting people coming on my damn page acting like I'm hating or some shit. Or I'm mad. I'm not mad. I love the fucking movie. You see what I'm saying? I don't have, I love it. I love to see African power. You see what I'm saying? I love to see new African power. I love to see Africans and new Africans engaging in the same ancestral love, the same culture, the same ancestors that we descend from. But that's not going to stop me from critiquing some shit that a white man put out. I don't give a fuck if a black man directed it. Because we all know that these bourgeoisie Hollywood motherfuckers, they can't do too much. They can't put too much in a Hollywood movie. You know what I'm saying? They still got to listen to what Master tell them to do. Or Master going to edit that shit out the movie. You see what I'm saying? Just like the scene where I keep seeing people post, oh, they're gonna red, black, and green flag. Well, you got Lupita, the other lady that played a Feeney in Pac movie, and Chad Boswack in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has on black, she has on red, he has on green. That's the red, black, green flag. But why we have to use codes and riddles to overstand the red, black, and green flag? Why they couldn't just have a red, black, and green flag on their regular clothes or something? Why we got to decipher codes and riddles of Marcus Garvey flag. We shouldn't have to look for that. I don't have to. We shouldn't have to look for that if it's an all black film and a black director. So that shows you right there that he's being controlled. He can only put what they allow him to put in the movie, which is cool. I ain't knocking it. Put the symbolism in there any way you got to put it in there. You know what I'm saying? But it still look cowardice that you got to hide Marcus Garvey's flag, the Pan-African flag, the African people's flag, under some type of symbolism or some type of, decode it. You got to decode. Oh, she has on red. He has on green. He has on black. Well, that's red, black, and green. But what about the Africans who can't decipher that? What about the Africans who don't know about the red, black, and green flag like that? How are they going to see it unless somebody tell them about it? You see what I'm saying? So that's one. Let me just give my positives about the movie. I love the fact that they had African ancestral veneration in the movie. Because a lot of our people in America don't know nothing about African veneration or African ancestral communication. Matter of fact, that's my favorite part of the movie, is the ancestral communication. You seen Chad do it. You seen Michael B. Jordan do it. When he took him into the little room, took him into the little sacred area, put him in the sacred sand, the sacred dirt. They started to meditate, started to go into that state of mind, took them to the ancestral realm. You see what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't know about the ancestral communications. I teach this all the time. What I'm always telling people, you must get in contact with your ancestors, man. You must learn ancestral communication. That is the key to your power. That is your power. When they talking about black comic heroes, superpowers, and all that shit, your ancestors is your superpowers, man. They are the guidance of your life. And they're the ones that guide you. They're the ones you get the answers from. They're the ones that give you the clues, the things you need to see as you walk in your destiny. Because we all walking a pre-destiny. We all received our destinies before we came into existence. You see what I'm saying? Your life is not by coincidence. Our lives have already been, chosen. You already been chosen. Your purpose has already been chosen before you became a human, before you were birthed. You were given a destiny, a purpose from the ancestral realm, because all you're doing is coming from another realm of the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? That already transitioned. You see what I'm saying? So that's my favorite part of the movie, is the fact that they show ancestral communication. That's the most important message you need to take from the movie. On the positive side of the storyline is that you need to get back with your African spiritual systems of Africa, man. These Abrahamic religions, I don't care who you are. Israelite, you could be a Muslim. I don't care about none of that stuff. Hey, to each his own. But one thing for sure that you better incorporate into that way of life, and if you are a Christian, or if you is a Jew, a Muslim, or that, you better get back to your ancestral communications. Because there's no way that you're talking to the Supreme Being. It's impossible. How can you talk to the Supreme Being, the Supreme God, if you never even met it? You don't even know what it is. You see what I'm saying? None of us know what that creator source is, or that creator God is. You ain't gonna know that until you transition. So stop trying to comprehend something that can't be comprehended in the physical realm. This is why in most African spiritual systems, they put the Supreme God and the Supreme Being far away from us. Because in the physical realm, it's impossible for you to talk to it. It's impossible. You can't communicate with something that's that far away. It's impossible. This is where the ancestors come in the picture. Even though the creator is within all of us, because we are manifestations of the creator and nature and our ancestors. Because you can't leave out the blood ancestors, because they created you. That cycle of them procreating and breeding created you for centuries. You are them. They are you. So this is why every African spiritual system across Africa that's indigenous, they have ancestral veneration. They give homage and praises to the ancestors. And they communicate with the ancestors. You can do this personally, or you can do this with a tribe and a clan of people, or your spiritual clan, or your spiritual, comrades that you do these things with. You see what I'm saying? So ancestral communication is the most important message that you should have took from that movie, and that they put in that movie. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just put it to you like that. Hold up real quick. Secondly, another favorite part of the movie that I like is that, let me just put it like this. What I wanted to speak on as far as positivity. Well, it's really, to be honest with you, it's really not too much positivity in the movie except for the fact of the culture and spirituality. Those are the most positive things from the movie. Yes, take your kids to go see that. But at the same time, when you leave that movie theater, this is the most important thing that you need to know, is that you have to continue to teach that. You see what I'm saying? You have to teach them about African spirituality. You have to teach them about ancestral communication. If you don't know it, find some people in your community, or find somebody who deals with African spirituality and these customs and these original traditions, and get with them so they can also teach your kids about it. You see what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, I was surprised that they even showed any aspect of African spirituality in the movie. Because usually Hollywood doesn't paint African spirituality in a positive light. You see what I'm saying? They paint that as a demon culture, as an evil culture. So to see that was my most exciting thing to see in the movie. You see what I'm saying? And along with the warrior customs, I can't leave that out. I like that aspect. The warrior customs of, how the warriors had to fight in order to, gain that respectability, and to gain that, your crown, basically. You know what I'm saying? For him to become king. You see what I'm saying? Those traditions do exist. Not in that fashion. You see what I'm saying? Because that was a little twisted. You see what I'm saying? Because truthfully, from my studies, I don't really know no African society or no African kingdoms that have their, two males fight it off to be crown prince. Usually it's passed down through bloodlines. You see what I'm saying? Not fighting each other or killing each other to obtain the next person to be crowned king. You see what I'm saying? That's not really how indigenous society does things when it comes to who would be king in an African society. It's usually passed down from bloodline. That king has to transition. He has to pass away. And then the next one in the bloodline obtains that throne. So that part was kind of a little twisted. Of course, because white people are overseeing it. So they're putting it out their own way. Disney and Marvel is putting their own twist on it. See, that's the whole thing about the storyline that I don't like, is the twists, which I expected. Because a lot of people think we walking around expecting for it to be a supreme African story that's factual. We're not, I never expected that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a comic book character. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't expect that. So those little things were twisted. A lot of those things were twisted. You know what I'm saying? So let me just say that aspect. But it's still positive. You know what I mean? Because you can teach your kids about this. My dislikes. Let me just get to my dislikes right now. And why my critical analysis of the message of the movie. I'm saying it's a great movie, but the message is bad for African people. It wasn't a good message overall. It was counter-revolutionary. A lot of people keep on wondering and keep asking me why I think that the message is counter-revolutionary, which it is. And the reason why I say that, because like I said in the beginning of this video, the whole Black Panther character derives from the Black liberation movement and the Black liberation struggle and the Black Panther parties. You see what I'm saying? So I have to critique it like that. I have to look at the storyline like that. It's counter-revolutionary. Why? Because of Michael B. Jordan's character. You see what I'm saying? Which is Killmonger. I'm not agreeing with the whole aspect and the thought process and the views of the Killmonger character, because we know that the white man twisted the views up of that character of Michael B. Jordan. But Michael B. Jordan character was a revolutionary character predicated on black revolutionaries of North America. This is the thing people don't get. That whole character was concepted after black liberation freedom fighters, period. From the Black Panther Party, period. These same Black Panther Party freedom fighters. You see what I'm saying? This is what the Michael B. Jordan character is concepted after. And all freedom fighters, period. Because I'm not gonna leave out all the totality of freedom fighter. If you're a freedom fighter, or a revolutionary, or a revolutionary political activist, which some of you don't even know the difference in that is. I'm not talking about these famous reformist ass Black Lives Matter political activists, because a lot of those people don't believe in revolutionary science or revolutionary ideology. They don't practice that. They don't study that. They don't believe in that. No, I'm talking about people who actually are students who study political education, who teach political education of the Black Panther Party, Black Liberation Army, Republic of New Africa, and several other black formations of the Black Liberation Movement. Y'all must understand that these people still exist. I'm one. There are several, I don't want to say thousands, but hundreds of black, from my age and younger, that are students of the Black Liberation Science. You see what I'm saying? And of Black Liberation figures, Black Liberation movements. You see what I'm saying? So we have an ideology, belief systems that we study daily. You can name a few of them. Socialism, how can I put it? Socialism, Marxism, Leninism, Black nationalism, internationalism, communalism. You see what I'm saying? Things of those nature. A lot of people don't study that. You see what I'm saying? I just had to put that point out there because a lot of people don't study that type of stuff, man. And it's cool. But I'm telling you about what these guys, how they became intellectuals, how they came with the ideologies and their beliefs. You see what I'm saying? How they became the men that they became. Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale. You see what I'm saying? Robert F. Williams, Assata Shakur, Mutulu Shakur, Zaid Shakur. And I got to give all praises to our teacher, Abba, Saladin, El Haj Shakur, Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? These people became intellectuals due to political education and African historic studies. Overall, black political education, you feel me? Or revolutionary education. This is what people don't get, man. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't study this shit. Kwame Nkrumah. Because I can't even leave out the Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africans. We have certain ideologies and certain political education that we study to understand the world view of white supremacy. You feel me? Because if you don't have political education, you cannot understand your reality. You can't understand your struggle. You can't understand the conditions you live in. You can't understand what you're trying to liberate your people from. You can't understand your oppression. You can't understand what oppression is without political education. You feel me? So at the end of the day, this is what the Michael B. Jordan character stood for. The Killmonger. You see what I'm saying? He was a revolutionary that wanted to liberate all oppressed black people across the globe, specifically in the United States of America. You see what I'm saying? So, the negative message of that is what I don't like about the Black Panther movie and why I critiqued it that way. And the reason why I said that the movie is counter-revolutionary overall. You see what I'm saying? Because why? They did the same thing that J. Edgar Hoover did to the Black Liberation Party and the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army, the Republic of New Africa, the Marcus Garvey movement, the Nation of Islam movement, the African Brotherhood movement, Malcolm X movement, and even the movements in Africa. What did J. Edgar Hoover, CIA, and all these type of people do to these movements? They criminalized them. They demonized them. They gave them labels like terrorists. They gave the whole revolutionary struggle the label of terrorists, criminals. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you believe in revolutionary struggle, if you believe in revolutionary movement, if you believe in the liberation of black people, period, if you have that belief that black people should be free, independent, self-determined, you are considered a criminal. You are considered a terrorist. You see what I'm saying? This is why I don't like how they painted the Killmonger character. You see what I'm saying? Because they did that to our elders that's locked up now. We have elders that's locked up now that has done more years than Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela only did 27 years, but that's a long ass time. That's evil. You see what I'm saying? Nelson Mandela did 27 years. They did the same thing to him. What did they do to Nelson Mandela? And Winnie Mandela, they criminalized him. They gave him the label of terrorists. All because of their political beliefs and their political struggle. So they did this same thing to our freedom fighters in North America. Mutulu, Asada, Nahanda. You know what I'm saying? Robert F. Williams, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale. All these great freedom fighters that they criminalized, man. They gave the label of terrorists. They did that to the Killmonger character. You see what I'm saying? You see all this in the Killmonger character. Not necessarily saying that everything that the Killmonger character believed in, I agree with. But no, the only thing that you should take away from that character is that what did they do to him? How did they concept the character? They concepted that character the same way J. Edgar Hoover criminalized the black liberation struggle with the Tail program, man. This is why the movie message is counter-revolutionary. And you need to teach your kids the same thing. That the Killmonger character is not a criminal. He's not evil. He's not a terrorist. Why? Because we have over 100 political prisoners in jail right now who Killmonger is concepted after, who are not criminals, who are not terrorists. These people are people who are in jail because they were attacked for their political beliefs, their political struggle. You see what I'm saying? They're not evil. They're not villains. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem I got with the movie. For the fact that the movie concept and the movie character Black Panther comes from the Black Panther Party. Period. You can't deny that shit. At all. Go study. Go research that shit. You see what I'm saying? So the whole underlying message of the movie is what? The same message J. Edgar Hoover indoctrinated in the minds of the people of the United States of America and across the world is what? That the Black Panther Party is the most dangerous thing to white supremacy and white nationalism. You see what I'm saying? That black independence, black freedom, black self-determination, black independence is evil. Your kids should not know this. You see what I'm saying? No, not know this, but your kids should see this in that light. This is what that movie message is predicating on the people who went to go see the goddamn movie. Your kids and the future generation that coming behind us. And after that generation. The whole underlying message of that movie is not to be a killmonger, not to be a Black Panther freedom fighter, not to be a Black Liberation Army freedom fighter, not to be a New African, but to be a Black identity extremist, a terrorist, a criminal. That whole underlying message is a J. Edgar Hoover message. If your kid wants to be a revolutionary, he's going to be a dead revolutionary. And his whole life after he's assassinated and killed will be predicated on what J. Edgar Hoover and the COINTELPRO wants them to be known as. Criminals, terrorists. You see what I'm saying? That's my point. This is why I say the movie is counter-revolutionary. It doesn't want the future generations to see freedom fighters in a positive light. Period. They want you to be the Black Panther character. Who is the Black Panther character in this movie? He's a reformist. He's an integrationist to a certain extent. Because why? He went to the UN. Kicking this, we all got to get along syndrome. We got to, work with the United States government. We got to work with the CIA to kill Black freedom fighters and to kill the Black liberation struggle, to kill Black independence, to kill, what it means to be a free African that's trying to liberate his people out of the oppressive state and the oppressive conditions of North America. That's the message. You see what I'm saying? Black Panther wasn't a revolutionary in that movie. And it's crazy because that character comes from revolutionaries. It comes from the Lowndes County Black Panther Party of Alabama, the Watts Freedom City Black Panther Party. Man, people got to get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Or the Revolutionary Action Movement Black Panther Party. That Black Panther dude in that movie went against that. You see what I'm saying? And he had the nerve to be called the Black Panther. So the whole message, underlying message of that movie was to re-indoctrinate the Africans who don't know about the Black liberation struggle, man. It's to keep them submissive. It's to keep them in the state that they're already in. Not to want to join Black liberation organizations. Not to help free political prisoners. Not to, see Matulu and them in a positive light. That's the message of the movie, man. Because why? They know that it's people like me and other comrades and quadres across the United States of America who are trying to get these people free. Who are teaching our babies that these are your heroes. These are your sheroes. Asada is a shero. She's a real life hero, shero. She's not a terrorist. She's not a criminal. But that movie goes against that. And how many of us went home and taught our babies the correct truths of this movie? How many of y'all did that? How many of these, at the end of the day, I'm happy to see my people go out. Africans from the continent, Africans across the diaspora. I was happy to see everybody run out to the movies and to put on their African garbs. You see what I'm saying? And enjoy each other's company without killing each other, without shooting each other. But we must understand the message of the movie. You see what I'm saying? Did you go home and correct your kids and make your kids see the positive side of a killmonger and what killmonger was struggling for? And to correct them, to let them know that that Black Panther dude in the movie is not the correct real Black Panther. That's why I'm saying this was the time to seize. This is the time to seize the time. Like the name of Bobby Seale book. You must seize the time to teach these babies the correct story. The realness, the real heroes, the real sheroes. You see what I'm saying? To teach them that they're not evil. That their struggle is not evil. Our struggle as black people trying to get free of this racist ass country is not evil. You seen what them Africans were in Wakanda? Them motherfuckers was free. They were sovereign. They had their own sovereign nation. This is what your ancestors had before that white man and that Arab invaded Africa. Something that the new African in America has never experienced. We never experienced that. At least the Africans on the continent experienced that. The Africans on the continent, they got to experience sovereignty, freedom, nationhood before the white man and the Arab invaded Africa. Us, we never had that. Unless you are a descendant of indigenous tribes, which I'm not knocking, because we know some black people are descendants of the indigenous nations before the white man came to America. Not knocking that. But a lot of those ancestors were enslaved also, though. So a lot of them were stripped of their sovereignty, of their independence, and their freedom. You see what I'm saying? But I'm talking about us new Africans today. Me, you, everybody, all my friends, comrades that's tuned into this live. You see what I'm saying? We have never experienced that. Never. We never experienced what you see in Wakanda on the screen. Why? Because your ancestors were enslaved. You see what I'm saying? We never experienced that. So my problem with the movie is that Killmonger was trying to achieve that. He went to Wakanda and told the Wakandans, like, look here, man. Y'all over here, hey, man. Y'all over here living good. Y'all free. But y'all left me behind. You left me in an oppressive, white, nationalist nation. You left me behind. My people over there ain't free. My people in the diaspora are not free. My people in England are not free. My black folks all across this world are not free, but y'all sitting over here in Wakanda with sovereignty, independence, nationhood, royal bloodlines, wealthy. Killmonger just wanted to liberate black folks in the diaspora. But the underlying message of the movie is that the freedom fighters that came in our time in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, that whole underlying message is that no, you can never achieve, you can't have that. That's evil. Black cats in America, black cats in the diaspora, you can't have independence. You can't have sovereignty. You can't have nationhood. You can't be a revolutionary. You can't get freedom. That's evil. That's terroristic. So that's all I'm saying, man. You know, I'm gonna shut this video down because you know these lives ain't long, man. It's running out of time. So that's my thing about the movie, bro. See my perspective from the black liberation struggles perspectives. Don't judge elders, students, and you know, just pure children of the black liberation struggle. Don't judge us for critical and analyzing the movie. That's our job. That's our job. Because the message is corrupted. You know how Hollywood is, man. We wasn't expecting it to be an all-out revolutionary black power movie or a movement. It's still a movement. You see what I'm saying? But we knew that message wasn't going to be projected in that. We're just mad how they switched the logo into something counter-revolutionary and reformist. The Black Panther character is a reformist. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to shut this video down, man, because it's running out of time, man. That's just my perspective and my chop up on the movie. Go see it. Take your kids to go see it. Enjoy the culture. Enjoy the African spirituality. But go back and learn about our heroes that's locked up in prison. I'm going to sign off. Haki Kweli Shakur. Free the land.